Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome back for another card review. So in this video, we're going to talk about the Crash Fever collaboration jackpot cards, and this is one of the or the rarest so-called Crash Fever card in this entire collaboration, with a draw rate of basically 1%. Right, so we have Turing here, and is she really good? So this is basically my opinion, right? So you guys can take in consideration whether to draw Turing or not. So this is her leader skill. So we have a Machina, Mono Machina or Machina human playstyle. Right, so if team consists of just Machina or Machina and humans only, right? So we only can deal with these two races and not include the others. Right, at least we still have human race, so we can put in Sus as an enchantress effect. Right, so let's continue with the leader skill. If it consists of Machina or Machina human, team attack times 4, HP times 1.3. So we do have a HP boost, right, which greatly assists us in certain stages, right, because Machina and human race doesn't really have a lot of HP. So with that additional 1.3 time boost on HP, really does assist a lot in terms of the whole entire HP pool. Right, so times 4 team attack is pretty basic, right, but we're going to touch on that more later. So the last part there, Heart Runes possess 50% of all attributes, right, and then this is superimposable, which means that with leader ally Turing, you're going to get Heart Runes possessing 100% of all attributes. Right, so without further ado, let's take a look at Turing's team skill. Right, so these are the team skills for Turing. So you can see that there is team skill 1 and team skill 2. So on the left we have team skill 1, so we're going to take a look at that first. So basically we have a team HP times 15 earth damage before we launch an attack. So this is a bit similar to what we have for the earth version of Lino, right, which launches an damage, we do a snipe damage, right, before we launch an so-called our original damage out. So this is particularly useful to counter skills such as the invisible shield. Right, so usually when we encounter invisible shield, we bring in some sort of a sniper card or some card that deal damage to the monster with active skill, right? Or we launch a Dragonary Craft, which actually deals attributive damage, non-attributive damage to the mobs in order to remove this invisibility shield. Right, so with Turing skill here, right, we do not have to slot in any unnecessary cards just to snipe off this invisibility shield. Right, so what we can do is just to use Turing, and then we will just have this additional snipe damage before we launch the full original attack. Right, so for this to happen, we do need the condition is to have Turing as leader ally, but we need to run a mono Machina setup. Right, so in this case, in order to trigger team skill 1, you must bring in a mono Machina and then with no human teams. Right, so unfortunately, this is going to be one of the more contradicting skill. Right, but nonetheless, this additional snipe damage is not very, is pretty situational and is not a must in all stages. Right, so in a case where that you want to trigger this team skill, you have to bring in just Machina race and no human race in your in this team. So I guess this is pretty forgivable, and we will just move on to the team skill number 2. Right, so team skill 2, we're going to convert, we do have a conversion of recovery. So recovery times 2, and then that stat is going to add on to all our cards' base attack. Right, so as you can see just now, we have a team attack of times 4, which is very mediocre. So team skill 2 here is going to assist us in increasing our attack stats, which basically balance it out. So recovery times 2, and then that stats is going to add on to the cards, all the cards base stats. So that's going to be massively increasing the attack stats, and then with just times 4 multiplier, so that's going to be pretty balanced already. So in order to trigger team skill number 2, basically what you need is just Turing as leader and ally. So with humans in the team, you can actually trigger team skill number 2 as well, which is very good because you can actually slot in enchantress, right, maybe like a Media or Sus in order to boost up even more damage. Right, so I think Turing's burst potential is actually pretty high as well. Right, so without further ado, let's take a look at Turing's active skill. Alright, so Turing being a Earth Machina team, right? So Machina usually utilize on fuel, and then in order to charge up fuel, you need to dissolve either its own respective attribute or hard runes. Right, so you can see active skill wise, it is very, very efficient in charging up the entire team's fuel. Right, so we have here CD7 converting water, fire into enchanted hard runes. Right, so that's effect number 1. Effect number 2, we're going to explode all light and dark runes, and then we're going to sky drop enchanted water, fire, earth runes. So this is going to be especially useful if you're going to encounter any sort of electrifying runes for light and dark runes. So this is going to help settle the entire situation as well. Right, so very, very useful active skill here. Right, so that's only effect number 2, so let's continue. When exploding runes, right, every 1 runes exploded, you're going to get this minus 4% damage reduction. Right, so to the max of 10 runes exploded, you get a 40% damage reduction at the max. Right, and then this effect is going to last for 2 turns, right, which is an additional bonus, right, in a case that the mobs is going to have high damage and you can't take a hit. Right, so additional 40% damage reduction, I guess, is just like a bonus, right? Better than not having it. So effect number 3, we have 2 rounds of 8-second movement time. Right, so this is going to be massive because we can counter it with we're going to counter some skills like 2-second movement time and stuff like that. Right, so other than Turing being a leader, right, you can see that overall this skill is actually very, very useful if you put Turing as a member for certain Earth teams as well. Right, so I want to especially go through effect number 1 and 2 once again. Right, so you're going to have a board full of enchanted earth as well as enchanted water, fire, earth if sky drop is in your favor. Right, so you can see here most likely you want to bring in machinas of water, fire, earth in order to get this maximum benefit from this effect. So as you can see of the team skill, we have a recovery boost, recovery times 2 and converted into attack, which is an attack boost, sorry. Turing can be a very meta card if being played properly. Right, so in the future, once I draw Turing, right, which is at a measly 1% draw rate, unfortunately, right, so I will feature more of this card in future videos or live streams. So I'll be drawing this card very soon, right, so you guys can join me in the live stream to kind of see how's the draw rate like, and then whether you guys want to go for it. So personally, I will feel that it is very, very good if you can actually obtain Turing, because Machina is going to be unlocking very big potential in the future, right, because we do have very limited Machina cards at the moment. So people might think that Turing and maybe Mobius is not very good of a card, but maybe in the future with further cards, further Machina cards being released, these 2 cards are going to be more prominent in the meta. Right, so overall this is going to be card review for Turing. So if you guys enjoy this video, do give it a like, and then as usual I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.